my throat when I say I miss you. Reality is a splitting and the timing ain't always fitting. Nothing to do now except express what's in you. Speak on what you've been through and what you've been through. Mother Ark of the Divine.
India and the Midwest. My sister got married on Long Island. The air was sometimes hot but not sticky, and the sun set in a kind of way that people will talk about at Christmas.
More persuasive when it's in a good story. The best painters I know work and live in closet studios, taking day jobs to buy enough of their life back for the diligent pursuit, largely in solitude of an artistic vision that'll contribute in perpetuity to the spirit of humanity.
Plastic water slide mat with him. I want to put scale on Bella's leg with him. He would put the glue on each scale, give them to me, and I would put them on Bella's leg.
Nice one. There's a beautiful simplicity to the big sniff, an hour-long pleasure along the passageway from nostril to bloodstream to brain.
September 6th, plausible deniability. Stacker Lee and Mac the Knife party through your responsibilities. Ready to play Vegas. Is this thing on? Going on stage is better than sex. O Tribbiano, we love thee, Tribbiano. Penny wise and pound foolish. There are many great locations at which to drop off rental cars. Stuffing envelopes, walking through resorts. Please remember MDMA in your will. Angels deserve to live in heaven. 9/8 NYFW. The Queen is dead. We were Elizabethan. I don't own 2,000 tambourines. Not too shabby. Noxo, Lurk, Had, Booter, Ikari, Caspa. Wish my legs never hurt. 2 days later of resting. We played Strange Stage. Chaz Keys. Get bit by mosquitoes. This is supposed to be the fucking door, you assholes. Should have brought a jacket. In New York City, it's hard to know how to dress between seasons. Came out early to sightsee and prepare. These mosquitoes look like tiny drones. Somebody said flaneur worker. I was like, yeah. Noticed and acknowledged. But there was not a word which brought it to the fore of recognition. Zoom scooters by, red unagi. I'm getting eaten alive by bugs. Getting loaded and staring at the buildings being filled with electricity. Black cherry and lemon. This city is a comic book. Its windows panels. Lights at night. Hash marks in verse to indicate shadows on drawings. Illuminating contour, body and edge in the negative. Further springs, only Miami would dox it out. Champagne headache, paid both ways to go to Queens. Free glass of wine, tripping for 25 hours, 26 minutes to home, when I could have walked. Would have liked the view, and drunk coming down 2nd Avenue through Midtown, trying to save my legs for the weekend. Almost no one applauded. Have to work tomorrow, why do I give a shit? Guess how you guess. Want my money back. Would have got home at 2 a.m., 4 more days, and the home poetry tour. Have to figure out what I'm reading, living in College Point. Gave 0 books away. How you mourning your morning. Couldn't pay for the train, guest host next month, while he's on residency in Finland. The subway is sightseeing too. Sets you there faster, location scouting. Get bit by magenta. I learned from how to do it myself, studied botany in Edinburgh. They invented the modern library system. Working yourself to death, unicorn autocorrect made it a pony. Have you ever rented a room? Bambi Kino fatigue train? These stations are different from what I'm used to. Generative catharsis, so few days, 114 I did the calculations. Sounds like a lot, but it's not.
Left. I although you did live quietly. The bouquet I bought for you was turned into a wreath. Your death was a shock, perhaps less so than your writing, about your aged neck, your lifelong fighting for a spot in the world run by men, your love affair with New York, and your husband's with another woman. Remember when you said that you came back to him to show how much you care?
On anything they could find. A paper mache graffiti without regard for you. Your deep brown eyes plead me from a coffee mug, a t-shirt, a puzzle, a magnet, a notebook, a postcard.
He's super weird to his underwear. Float an off version of himself, Orange Destination away, in New York City, far a finance show, start wearing fiduciary robes. Nothing in my life has ever made more sense than me in this apartment. 2 stops left, Batman's in Guantanamo. All airline pilots tell me I look young for my age. Banish the shuttlecock of entitlement. The music is good here. Semper Jode. 9-9. String of pearls crossing town to go to work. Collective oyster. Island transformation. We have our pigment cards in here. Usually streets named Pearl are interesting. Weekend supplies. Use of lifting coming to a head. 9/11 field day. The night doesn't exist in Manhattan. I ran out of trash bags today. I thought the box would last forever. Let's hope it's a mild winter. Lyrical guitarist Ben Gazzara as Hank Chinaski, stylin' and profilin' by and by, throwing knives into a tree. They sacrificed the towers on the altar of the new millennium. As prophesied by Bobby in Love and Theft, it ain't always easy kicking somebody out. "9/12, Dirty Cop." And now from a message from our friends at 7-Eleven. Is it time for lunch? Making a set list for tonight. Your empty market is telling you you have no friend. The fire hidden in the ashes. A grainy rain. My parents had their wedding reception at the Red Door Tavern. Bought me an engagement ring. New York happens. Fancy seeing you here. 9/13 Dream Home. Out into the womb of the world, breaking even. Dee Dee Champagne was Taylor Made's date at the Bowery Poetry Club 2004. 9/14 Friends Are the Enemy. Movies are great to write down if you watch them. 9/14 Bathroom Code. Ordering rain 3 times easy. Eating Wendy's. There goes Glenn Close. I'd like to win a Tony. Combining layers. Carrying cameras. Faking American accents. Feels like the beginning of summer, though it's really the end. My brain got one of those church surfboards. I don't answer in the guessing game. Add a regular party to your day. Cara Mia, iPhone cloudy, Agua Sup, Stupping Danino's 3 times ready, Berlin donor, more perk recipe Jean's, Sunshine Loves You, credit where credit's due. People used to look in my eyes and think my pupils were huge. I could coast on that for hours. The older ones you need to court leaps to mind. Fired that guitar player mid-song. White stretch limo, she looks like my girlfriend from 10 years ago, who's got 2 kids now, lives in Gainesville, married to a 6.5-foot tall guy. The wind cries Mary. Oversized button-up bowling style. Fashion statements. Could go on at 1 a.m., don't want to pay $5 cover. The best included, oh no, not Wonderwall. I like going on last, closing out the night. Feels an honorary position of some sort. Today is going to be the day. Missed 2 calls. My mom hearted my story. I feel bad about what I said in my last video. Or a subtextual layer was her birthday. Plucking guitars, strum. Take the scene and know what to do with it. Things are meaner now. We hope you like it. Singer of Last Waltz, carving boy, not a fan, one like. Sitting for free. Something's coming through, day gone by. John Mayer sound alike.
Cafe or no cafe? They only have Tetley tea. And why English breakfast tea? You are an American.
Workers warming down canals. Shall we sing huzzahs for them? We shall, too. Speaking Polish, round of older man and woman close metal storefront.
Uncomfortably close. I can smell that acrid chemical smoke they exhale, somewhere between Clorox bleach and stale ammonia, or maybe that's just the scent of his girl's poor vaginal hygiene.
Oh, I wish I could sing. Vibes Grill, it wasn't going to go away on its own. Action Kid sighting at McDougal and Bleecker. YouTubers are moving back to New York. I'm sorry I missed your call. Greg emceed the Andrei Krodescu launch reading and did a great job in palatial Bowery poetry. Repeat the steering wheel through a chair. I feel like driving through Pennsylvania right about now. Nothing to lose, lost track of time. Rolling stop, how sweet it is. Sub-munching notebook. Can you help me buy a beer from the store? A People's History of the United States, cherries falling off the plate. Bottom right through Sunshine, Carmine Street, Bluestone Lane. Unoppressive non-imperialist books went out of business. $1.50 cheese pizza slice, 7th Avenue South. The west side is the best side. I went on a date here once, first time losing out to an older artist. Internet money opportunity. The streets talk to me, 17 St. Luke's Place, Hudson Grace. $1 Million Bash, all cobbled together, Pinot or Chardonnay, Vision in a jug. Division t-shirt, not throwing in your vein, shit-ass Murray kettle, 1,000 clowns taught him how to do it. Thursday night, the village is alive. As a courtesy to the artist, attaching nothing but these tenuous events, the importance of ash in a periwinkle shipping container. $9.15. Instances of spaciousness. Manhattan in the rain. What's the sound of water? Doesn't do any good. Keep cheese paws up into the clouds where they shot Hi Mom. You never know what part is going to touch what other part. Orphic grotto marble. We'll work to get a solution everybody likes. There's a lot of moving parts, vain and casual blows. Mind your own business. 4 spurts like I wrote in 2007. Finding out what you can just do it. Drawing beauty, storytelling interiors. Peloton, Schnipper's treat. Halfway to the dawn. Take nothing for granted. How could I be any more full of appreciation for every moment, while knowing it's going or not? Shuttered discount store, not feeling sad or unsure, shuffling and scuffling, getting myself to work on time. Harry's house has surprisingly bad fashion sense, up 9th Avenue, back down 8th. Hung flyers in places no one goes. Felt more comfortable there. How they learn with us, not purporting to be experts, a Camelot behind the tale, in an old familiar now. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. Maybe I shouldn't have sent that overly personal message at 1 a.m. She hasn't responded, though 10 people liked my announcement in the comedy Facebook group. David Amram is a character in the play about the founding of the Public Theater in Joseph Papp by Richard Nelson. New York enjoys breaking. I stop in the drama bookshop on the way home. Okay, now I'm ready to begin, to go back to the beginning and start over, doing laundry in the bathtub. The clothes smell mildewy, drawing in the bathroom for days, confirming its own bias, nervous to write my lines, my bliss inches, Godard died. Do we yet realize this? Where do we go from here? The park from the song seemed wide, sparsely populated with bridges. Lying in state, the funeral coach rolls embarrassingly through my 35mm projector. Still working with a motive, drinking from tall wine glasses, working between genres, falling through the cracks, revealing it all, which should have been thought through, staying home with no footage of the originating incident, showing up in the paintings. Summer's already over and it feels like it. Didn't even happen. We went online and it never ended. It's been 2.5 years. The 20th century is dying 20 years later. Scared every second for the phone call, stood the test of time, saying very little and nothing more, talking in parks, sunbasking, earthing, bathing in the windy light. It was as good as it actually was. We are alive and separate from animals only in our ignorance, taking classes, hanging flyers, walking to support friends' events in the Bowery Poetry Club or a rooftop in Brooklyn, projecting awkwardly to embarrass one's peers and colleagues. Is anybody going to come to this? Holding off on weed till afterwards. Drugs ruin my efforts while making them possible. Work tomorrow, couldn't answer the emails, cost extra.
Will create someday. Once born, they will die. Once born, they will work until they die. Thank you.
Yeah.
This one is called Queen Victoria. My lavender Sagittarius, surprisingly small like the Mona Lisa, but you wouldn't know. You're such a vibe, XL lips, king-sized eyes, my instant crush, a perfect segue into the new abnormal. Look at the date. The Mets won that night, and I don't follow sports, and trans is trending in America. Mix my mortal enemies inside my guts. I feel the darkest sadness, the coldest warmth I have ever felt. I take a sip of icy domestic penny whip, then she approaches me and backs away. Sometimes I feel like I'm in a Scorsese film. Cream cheese, plaster of Paris bagels, etc. I'm alone and I'm wet and I watch her hands speak. I wish you would look over.
Chest rapidly rose and sunk with anguish, his bloody handprints trailing across the floor, and he sputtered, "As you can see, I'm not doing too good." We sat cross-legged on the cold tile, and he played Cry Me a River on repeat on my phone, sobbing into the sink and into the puddles, while we watched the saline solution mix with the swells of vermilion on the bathroom floor. I wish I could pray, but I don't know how.
Drugs ruin my efforts while making them possible. Work tomorrow, couldn't answer the emails, cost extra. The church used to be darker. A sinister action infused its rooms in light. Not many get the invitation. Who knows what it means anymore? That you have enough friends to afford it. I do things that make me nervous at least 4 or 5 days a week, sometimes more than once, maybe more. Moved away from home at 25, have been back intermittently over the years. Have gotten none of my podcasts or other entertainment ventures to catch with the mass audience. Superstar artist millionaires are a thing of the past. I hate my face, I hate my voice. Blocked internationally for copyright in the year of our Lord, 2022. The New Yorker magazine stole all my ideas. I have to write stuff to go with what I saw because I didn't take time to mark it down in code. Must have been busy doing something else, but what? Listening to the 19th century, seeing the third eye of Pinochet, September 11th, 1973, another CIA-backed coup. We'll see how long it lasts, like visiting the dentist, dread every interaction. That's what I feel in the pit of the well. Bluegrass cover of Gin and Juice. Let's just get it over with. The phone's not ringing. I get a text from an unknown number, freestyling about John Lovitz after the reading with Tony visiting Mean Streets, Johnny Boy and the Lord's Prayer where I used to work. We immortalize each other with great cinematography. That was only the beginning. auditioning for some short films along the clock tower, the gargoyle squats, paying for more time, Skyline Crystal Spires 70s sci-fi novel cover, doing 50 weeks of clubs. Today was a vacation, barefoot in the park, absorbing sun and air, 2 loops, Waverly and Bedford, the underroads. Am I remembering those days? A day off, crossing Union Square, not performing, writing my scripts, Lucille Lortel Theater, graduating with honors, Squat Bottle Grove Press Academy, Flyer outside New School for Drama. Manhattan is a battleship, strategic flivver fallaway into sunset, aquatic helipads, looting Samuels, heart bumps getting back on my feet, in the attic apartment at KGB. We're from the same town, not getting enough conversation, parts 5 of 7 parts. Russia's lost a lot of soldiers, the meat of Solo. I'd like to eat in restaurants this year, filming nothing at work, the crusts on a mission from God, displaying the painting with dignity to the audience, ferries and boats across the water, feeling nothing, trying to U-haul the past, leaving guitars feeding back. I think it's his best work, an embodiment of the Geist, art studios in the old barracks, across the echoing green, brothel puppets bring their own tablecloths, zebras have hard kombucha and say hello, lunch bags strewn on the ground, prince of the city, to be young and in Manhattan, Ulysses and Dead Rabbit, where Anna got her career, and fucked an Irish surfer, teasing the Barbie, staging the designated mourner, office chairs and snacks, capturing their interest, Boulevard of Broken Dreams poster, living in the city to great advantage, keep today out of it, only watching the past, gunmetal rain and twin bat signals, phantom illumination, premiering my movie on the Brown Derby over Beatrice Inn, cobbled brick street, my legs hurt, like I'm walking through Paris, Citizens Green, all these buildings are not tall enough and lack elevators, versus what came after, Buster Keaton collar in that Irish Spring room, would my DVD fill the black screen, a reaction to the boredom, the Jim Carrey of poetry, finding myself in an ATM mirror, in a long table in a long hall. The bartender wanted to kick my ass because I told him to shut the fuck up. That one is Madison Square Garden Network, Shots of Rain, Gentle Machine, Guns of Life, the 1% of Noid video game, Naked Seeing in Giant's Garden, We Have Our Reasons, bought his own townhouse with TV commercials, Last of a Dying Breed. Did you eat a Cruising for Swan? Yes, it changed my life as the flowers died all around, making collages from magazines. This, the vision board of Men Love Avenue, leaving out the best parts, costing 3 months in the bike lane as they rumbled down Manhattan Hills, 9th Ave, a chest of dishes crashing, Italian restaurants, noodle pulling, steakhouses, not necessarily in that order, an escort of publicity in a rainbow of avoidant light. Jules Pfeiffer caption scenes, how we see versus proscenium lensing, making bigger choices, pushing one's limits, finding troves beyond an inspection. Patti Smith owns the building. See her every night on McDougal, have to pretend we don't vaguely know who the other is. Closed metal listening, I fit in Midtown, the apartment striding, 20s, 30s, 40s, Robert Moses double-breasted, humans easily sift, actual sized against gentle giants, taxes, vapes, finding sundown by a truck yard, ragtime ambassador, bringing the good word on foot while filming birds throwing themselves at the moon in blue. Taste is formed in youth, then thrown away on the junk pile like toys you outgrow. Are our entertainers and celebrities, thoughts running through our days and cities, sitting for free. New video surveillance entry camera doesn't recognize my face, access denied. It's funny how money and job has not been part of the rebuilding, one piece at a time. I have to think about things. I have to take time or it won't work, I tell her, explaining why the delay and inscribing the chapbook personally from me to her. I wanted it to be good.
Their own, forming the Thursday Morning Poets. Woo! The weekly meetings are facilitated by a different. Introduce our next group of poets from Easy Paradise, some of my favorites. Easy Paradise is an experimental poetry magazine published out of Manhattan. It looks to build meaningful community with writers outside of traditional academic or institutional structures by hosting readings in inclusive and unusual performance spaces, such as public parks or fast food restaurants, and by welcoming.
Wrote 7-part poem called Oracular Transcendentalism. I'm going to read part 5 of 7 parts. The Transcendentalism relates, of course, to Emerson. However, Melville, Thoreau, a number of Hawthorne, Margaret Fuller are in the 7-part work. Part 5, when does the past become past? Genuine wisdom transcends the limited down the stairwell, fall into a chaotic assault, bullets, cannons, a necklace of platinum and blood diamonds, the war machine activated, the arsenal equipped for total destruction of eyeglasses, formation of bomb clouds, mega bombers hum, Mariupol shattered, decibels shatter eardrums, eyes, ears, nose, throats congested with And speaking of Her Majesty, the head of state lies in state, and this is the Platinum Jubilee year. This is a very new poem. Lineage. Ireland, the first to leave the empire. William Butler Yeats served as senator in that Irish Free State. The power of dismissal exercised this year, the centenary of the state of Southern Ireland, centenary of Ulysses, that epistle to the Hibernian metropolis. In this, the year of our Lord, 2022, the Platinum Jubilee year, the year Queen Elizabeth died, the end of another Elizabethan era. From Arthur's Seat in Edinburgh, from that height, gaze on Holyrood, where she will lie in state in the Caledonian metropolis in Scotland. This Her Royal Highness